Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe, peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.
Blessings,
Welcome to
financial.
the Trillion Dollar Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. I'm running two shows every day. This is the pre-market setup, and we'll be back at the market open to break down live price action, momentum, and execution. Remember, I watch the markets, give you the breaking news, and find the levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment only. Always do your own research, but you can use the show as a foundation. It's Thursday, April 9th, 2026, and the magic of the ceasefire is being tested by the reality of the charts. We have climbed out of extreme fear, and we're currently sitting at 32 on the fear and greed index. So we're in just fear. We had a massive data dump at 5:30 a.m. We'll get to that. We had Core PCE, GDP, and unemployment claims come out. All right, let's check out the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, so I want to show you Forex Factory here so you can see these details as I read them. Oh, let me take off this Twitter thing right quick. All right, so this is at 5:30 a.m. We had Core PCE price index. It came in where it was forecasted 0.4%. So inflation is holding steady but sticky. We have final GDP quarter over quarter. Forecasted 0.7%, actual 0.5%. This is a miss, and the economy is cooling faster than expected. We had unemployment claims forecasted 210K, actual 219K. This is also a miss. More people are filing for benefits and adding to the cooling economy narrative. We had personal income month over month forecasted 0.3%, actual 0.1%. People are earning less. And then we had personal spending month over month forecasted 0.6%, actual 0.5%. So people are spending less as well. Okay, so when it comes to the ceasefire, Trump posted on Truth Social that all U.S. assets remain in place until the real agreement is fully complied with. He warned that if terms aren't met, the shooting starts bigger and stronger than ever before. The Lebanon tension. Iran is accusing Israel of violating the ceasefire by continuing strikes on Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran has responded by reportedly closing the Strait of Hormuz again to tanker traffic, citing that they have sea mines. And there was an oil bounce. After crashing to $95, WTI has bounced back to 97.40 on the news of the Strait being blocked again. The Stone Age trade is trying to crawl back. Oh my goodness. After such a wonderful day yesterday seemed like it had to be the best day of the year. Probably the best day in a very long time that we've had in the market. All right, let's get to Robert Greene's Daily Law right quick. So much depends on your reputation. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Your reputation is a treasure that must be carefully collected and protected, as it serves a magical wand that can double your strength or send enemies scurrying. In the world of appearances, a solid reputation acts as a shield, distracting others from your true nature and giving you control over how you are judged. Once established, you must defend it with confidence and high road grace, as getting angry or defensive only reveals insecurity. In long term investing, the reputation of the $1 trillion tickers is why you hold them through the fire. While the news cycle tries to slander the stability of a company like Microsoft or Apple during a 32% correction, their long term reputation for cash flow and innovation remains the cornerstone of your portfolio. You don't let the short term slips in price define your long term thesis. By maintaining a reputation for disciplined, emotionless investing, you protect yourself from the probing eyes of the get rich quick crowd. Fulfilling your life's task means hoarding the treasure of consistency, knowing that a solid reputation for holding will eventually double your financial strength. When it comes to active trading, active traders fail when they let a single false slip in their execution destroy their psychological reputation. You must defend your reputation for discipline by strictly following the level up algo or the smart money concepts, support and resistance zones, or your own support and resistance levels like the ones that I supply, 3 to the downside, 3 to the upside, even when 219K unemployment claim data comes out, and that creates an awkward change in market volatility temporarily. Trump is currently leveraging his reputation for shooting bigger to keep Iran at the table. As a trader, you must leverage your reputation for following the rules to keep your capital safe. If you get defensive or desperate in your self-defense after a losing trade, the market will attack you on all sides. Confidence in your process is the magic wand that turns a dreadful market into a brilliant one. The data is heavy, the ceasefire is fragile, the reputation is everything. Stay patient, stay disciplined, execution over emotion, process over prediction. All right, let's get on these charts, y'all. All right, we got SPY in the pre-market at 674.28 to the downside support. We got a daily level at 673.10, followed by the pre-market low at 672.89, 672.50. And then we have a gap here to the downside. That gap begins at 671.50. To the upside resistance, we got 674.70. Pre-market high is 674.88. 675.80. 676.20 and 676.60. QQQ currently in the pre-market at 604.80. To the downside support, we got 602.89. Let me give you one before that. 603.50. Then the pre-market low, 602.89, 602.55, and then the top of the gap at 602.13. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 605.50, 606.35, 607.15, 607.70. The VIX is currently at 21.29. NVDA in the pre-market is at 181.08. To the downside support, we got 180.90, 180.25, which is the top of the gap. And then the pre-market low is 180 even. To the upside resistance, we got 182, 182.30, 182.40, 182.80. A lot of resistance right there. All right, next we got Apple in the pre-market, 257.73 to the downside support. We got 257.36 followed by 256.90, and then the top of the gap at 256.53. The bottom of the gap is 256.20. To the upside resistance, we got a weekly level at 258. At the pre-market high, 258.69, and then 259.75, 260.85. Google currently in the pre-market at 315.32. To the downside support, we have a We have a gap right here. The top of the gap is also a weekly level at 315, followed by the pre-market low of 314.44. Excuse me, 314.77, and then 313.60, 312.90. To the upside resistance, we got 316.05, 316.50, 318.10. Next, we got Tesla. It's at 342.09 in the pre-market. To the downside support, we got 339.73, followed by 3, which is the pre-market low, and also a 1 hourly level, followed by 337.25. To the upside resistance, we got 346.45, which is the pre-market high, very close to that. It's a 1 hour level at 346.75, followed by 350, 354.40. Microsoft, currently in the pre-market at 373.08. To the downside support, we got 372.90, which is the pre-market low, followed by a 4 hour level at 372.70, and a 1 hour level at 371.35, 396.40. To the upside resistance, we got 373.65, followed by the pre-market high at 375.02, 376.55, 377.60. Amazon currently in the pre-market at 224.74. To the downside support, we got 224.50, followed by 223.10, 222.80, 221.30. To the upside resistance, we got 225.55, the pre-market high, 225.76, and 226.50. Amazon is actually running crazy in the pre-market. Amazon ran 3% in the pre-market. It's currently at 2.62%, but it actually ran 3% in the pre-market. Amazon 2025 revenue beat by 12% year over year. Operating income beat by 17% year over year. Free cash flow is down 71% year over year after a $50.7 billion jump in CapEx. Amazon says its chip unit run rate topped 20 billion, up from 10 billion earlier this year. CEO Andy Jassy said the company may sell racks of processors to third parties. Amazon says much of its AWS 2026 CapEx will be monetized in 2027 and 2028, and some 2026 spending will be covered by customer commitments tied to that CapEx. And I do have some news for the Market Open show on Amazon as well. All right, next we got TSM, currently in the pre-market at 362.03. For the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 360.62, followed by 360.40, and then 359.25, which is the 1 hour level, but also the top of the gap, and then 357.50. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, which is also very close to a 1 hour level at 363.60, 366.10, 367.48, and 370. Meta currently in the pre-market at 621.16. To the downside support, we got 620.20, 615, 613.70. Pre-market low 611.52. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 626.94, 627.45, 630, 631.75, 636.20. Next, we got AVGO, currently in the pre-market at 349.57. To the downside support, we got 348.25, 347.60, pre-market low, 346.81, and 345. To the upside resistance, We got 349.45, 350.18, which is a pre-market high, 351.70, and 352. And then we got Berkshire B, currently in the pre-market, 478.95, pre-market low, 478.26, pre-market high, 480.73. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at the market open. Set those alerts, and we'll check and see how those prices hit. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.